Yeah, I thought it was a pretty productive day. Really, it's all about how it responds, right? So, probably, very similar to last week as it sits right now. We'll monitor him every day and, see how he's feeling the next day and, see what he can do from there. So, yeah, I think, positivity is a good word for that. I think it's positive.
Yeah, I mean, is the hope to maybe increase his volume or just his distance as the week goes, and if he meets that, then maybe he plays on Saturday?
Well, it's all about response, right, and how you respond, how his body responds to it, and how he's feeling, right? So, to play the quarterback position, you got to be feeling, confident in your physical ability, right? To go out and do those things. So, it's just, continue to monitor it, and Nathan's, he's a pro. He, understands, his body and where he's feeling.
I know that Allen, who's a key guy, big offseason acquisition for you guys, didn't finish the game, didn't practice today. Any kind of an update on what that's looking like?
Continuing to monitor it right now. It's day-to-day right now, but we should have an update in the next few days for sure.
Buck, how much further along, though, is Nathan than he was a week ago? Because he looked to be way more active than we saw last week.
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping that, obviously. You're hoping you're feeling better when you take some time, and he's been putting the work in to get himself ready to go. So, yeah, it was a positive day today for him for sure, and we'll see how he responds.
Where does Chase Bryce fit in everything here? Are you still leaning towards Jeremiah if Nathan can't go, or might Chase get a look one of these days?
Well, they're all getting reps. They're all getting reps, and once again, we'll continue to look at it, and we'll make decisions at the end of the week. Everybody knows, it's going to take everybody. So, whatever we decide, if it comes to that, we'll make that decision.
What did you like about your defense, Buck? Because I thought they really stepped up for you and kept you in that football game in the second half.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot to like. The effort, the effort's been there all year. Just the response, I think, and how they handled a little bit of adversity, to start the game, but just how they responded and they were able to adapt. And that's what you have to be able to do defensively, right? Is be able to change gears and shift, and each week, implement your goals and what you have to do versus certain offenses. And I thought they did a tremendous job.
What about the noise factor? I know with this short week it was difficult to prep the way you wanted to for the noise when you went to Winnipeg. We didn't hear a lot of fake audio here. Is that the plan for the week, to try to increase that as well, just so you can work on the communication with the noise in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, there'll be a lot more noise tomorrow, artificially piped in, but we still use our operation even without noise, right? So all those things are things that we've talked about, things that we operate on.
What do you see from Sask as undefeated and how they're playing right now?
Sound football team, very talented, just structurally sound. They're communicating well on the defensive side. Offense is efficient. Trevor's playing at a high level. You look across, I think they're just very cohesive right now in who they are, and when teams are able to do that out the gate of the season, they have success early on, right? So, we got to make sure that we're fixing our mistakes. When you look at the tape from last week, a lot of fixable things, right? So, things that we have to address and we have to focus on, to improve and get better.
How much do you think it graded on the guys to make 4 turnovers, 3 of them on offense? You're never going to win a football game when you give up that many turnovers.
Yeah, I mean that's any league. You got to take care of the football, and I think the guys understand that, but to actually make sure we're putting a major emphasis on taking care of the football, great decisions with the football, and just make sure that's our top priority offensively is taking care of the football and not giving them short fields and momentum and or points.